Good morning. It is Wednesday, July 23rd, 2025. This is your daily collective tarot and oracle reading on Jade Emerald Green. I want to give a shout out to Amy Winehouse, who passed on this day in 2011. And she, being a Virgo sun, also with the middle name Jade, is always going to be, I don't want to call her the patron saint of Jade Emerald Green, this channel, but hey, she's looking over. I feel her energy, and it's great. Meanwhile, speaking of Virgo, we have Mars and Virgo, while we have Venus and Gemini, and that's forming a square. So we need to be mindful of the tensions that are in the air surrounding our world of beauty, where it meets the need for action, okay? Let those agreements be communicated in an assertive manner, not a passive manner, not an aggressive manner, not a passive-aggressive manner, an assertive manner, so that you can express any of your unmet needs while being able to listen to the other. It's important to note, as a reminder, you got 2 ears and 1 mouth. In addition, we still have Moon and Cancer, okay? With the Moon in Cancer, it is in its home sign. So feel all your feelings, my thoughts and my feelings, do all of that so that you're not suppressing it, but know that you have a way to channel it, even through the square, via assertive communication, okay? So those are our transits today. And if you saw the forecast on the weekly in-depth collective tarot and oracle reading on Jade Emerald Green, you would know that today's card is the 10 of Wands. You are almost at the finish line, but did you do most of the work to take us there? Delegate, baby, delegate. Sometimes it's hard because only you know how to do certain things that nobody else can do, and even if they did, they couldn't do it in the way that you do it. But still, it's important to share your knowledge at this point when you're at the 10 of Wands. 10, as we always say, is the number of completion, not just for the self, but for the other. So that's why delegation is important. That's why sharing your story, sharing your knowledge at this point about what you've learned about your passion, your creativity, your ideas is all essential, because you got to pay it forward, okay? And also, bring yourself to a point where you're not carrying the full load all the damn time, But this is a great card because this does signify that you've come a long way, So there's cheers to that. Always cheers to the hard worker who's come a long way and is able to see the fruit of their efforts, essentially, as they're in the process of, letting other people take on more of the share of the weight. So there is that going on. Meanwhile, we have Izan, the high priestess, or the Loa of miracles, okay? I wish I could play Salt Miracles right now, because that's all I can think about. That's all that's really stuck in my head. Are you looking for a miracle? Are you searching for a miracle? Well, don't forget that you are the miracle, okay? It's important that we have to remember how hard it is to sustain life, how hard it is to come into a life form in the first place. That is the very first miracle that each of us experience, okay? Now, in the form of, or in the context of the 10 of Wands, miracles do come even when it feels like we've worked for them. I think there's this misperception that miracles just have to come about. No, we work for miracles, and that's okay. Because having things end up being better than what you initially expected them, that's how real progress happens. Yes, progress that you can track is great, but it's also predictable and can be kind of limiting. So being able to know that in this world things can happen beyond your wildest dreams, and that be good. All it requires is a little bit of believing before you see. If you can believe in the miracle, it will come. You don't need to see it, at least right away. Believing wholeheartedly that you are a miracle and you are deserving of miracles. Even when you got to put it to labor for it, it's not a bad situation at all. I really like this combination because, you know, it kind of demystifies that misperception that miracles just happen. That if you so happen to experience it, you know, you are ever so lucky. No, sometimes we do work for miracles. We work for things and we have an expectation, and sometimes our expectations are blown out the water. And that's how it should be. Alrighty, y'all. So that's pretty much my interpretation for today's card pulls. If you would like to see the in-depth reading, go ahead, scroll down to it should be pretty obvious on the TikTok, also on the YouTube, because YouTube has titles. So yes, be sure to check out the weekly in-depth tarot and oracle reading for the collective. That was Sunday, July 20th. I also will be working on the August 2025 monthly forecast article via Substack. So, you know, for the weekly and monthlies, that's where we essentially ask the question, what the fuck are we doing here, right? And I mean, this essentially is always asking what the fuck we're doing here. I just have been trying to push people more so towards the weekly in-depth readings, but maybe we should just bring that question back. What the fuck are we doing here? I miss cursing a lot. So yes, thank y'all, and I will see you on the next one. Yeah. All right, bye.